Actually, the shelter system is actually 10 times worse than when I was in it. Then, while they was filming. Now they actually make it harder for you to be in a shelter. So if they feel like if somebody has a dining room space, they could push their table aside and you could plop a bed there and that's space for you. So they will find you ineligible and turn you back and just say, well, you can stay there. So now it's actually harder. But while I was in it, since I couldn't work, and back then it was more like you get a job and they help you find an apartment and you're eligible for a certain program, which is called Work Advantage. Or if you have ACS, is Children's Advantage. So like I said, like my sister said, it's all a gimmick. They help you get an apartment by a certain program, and then when you get that apartment, you're only there limited time, and then when they stop paying the rent, they tell you, well, now you got to pay the $2,000 rent, and light and gas is not included. You know what I'm saying? So then now you're right back in the shelter or on the street again. Back to square one. So yeah, they're actually making it harder. And I don't blame them, but those that really need it are those that, really need it. But there's a lot of people that don't need it, that just don't want to be at home with their mother. They want to be with their boyfriend and getting married. So everybody's using the system.
I saw a question all the way at the back. Yes. I think everyone heard.
I shot, it's all kind of a blur. I want to say about going on 5 to 6 years. I followed Lucky. I was a journalist, so it started as a magazine story. So the first, 6 months to a year, I followed her for a written piece that I published, and then it blossomed into a film. So the film spans going on 6 years.
When I met my father's side of the family, I felt at peace because for some reason I always heard from my older sister, that my father always wanted us, and our mother is the one that took us from our father, and then the system took us from her. So I always blamed her, because even though if you was trying to be an unfit mother, at least give us to our father, but I don't know, I still communicate with them. I don't go see them or call them every day, but every now and then I call to communicate with them. But just to put on the record, the guy that was in a wheelchair, my uncle, he's in the hospital on his deathbed now, so he's about to die soon.
Other questions? I wanna ask about the kinds. You guys have a relationship, right? And there's a working relationship and there's a personal relationship. And forgive me, I'm just really curious. I expect that there was a lot of complexity that had to be navigated in terms of, the intimacy that's being shared between you. Could you guys speak to how you came through and how you're standing on stage holding hands today?
Yeah, people have asked me that, and as a journalist, there are, a lot of ethics, and for me, I just always led with my heart, and I think there was sort of an unspoken bond between Lucky and I that she let me into her world, and I went, and I think that I just really led with my heart, and that sort of always guided me and gave me clarity. And Lucky's a very complicated woman, but that is why I'm so interested in her. So.
And as for me, to Laura, once I get a hold of you and I consider you my family, you ain't going nowhere. So that's just it.
We have time for one last question. Yes. Oh, in the back. Sorry.
So a lot of the music is original music, and we are now actively seeking finishing funds. This film was completely DIY, and we've, not gotten any funding. And so we are looking to clear a few of the songs that are in there that, we're using for this screening, and we would love to include as the film starts to hopefully make its way out into the world.
Well, please join me in thanking Lucky Torres.